I hate gossip.
Me too.
This ticks me off more than any negative human behavior I run into. It is so destructive and it is so socially accepted. Most places are full of people that just shut up and work.
All right, listen, that's my boy Dave Ramsey. And what we are talking about is gossip. Now, let me tell you something. When I first experienced gossip in like a massive way, well, in a big way, in church, right? In church, you know, it was two-faced, it was that whole thing. But when I really received gossip in a massive way, it was the Blind Vine, right? BVA, the Blind Vine Association. I didn't know anything about it until I became blind, and it was crazy. So I'm gonna get into the brief story. But here go Dave Ramsey on gossip, man. Let's get into it.
Talking about each other, talking about your sex life. I don't want to hear about that crap. Get to work. You hear about so-and-so, and talking about the boss, and talking about this, and talking about the product line, and negative. I can't.
Negative. You're negative, my guy. You're negative, my girl. It's negative. It doesn't help anything.
Can't stand it. Drives me nuts. And I got to tell you, man, I fight it. We will not have it. I will fire your butt for this.
Gotta have a job before you get fired. You can see my point? I mind the business that pays me.
That's how we handle it, right? Because, you're messing with something we've spent unbelievable amount of time and energy creating, and you're trying to screw it up. You're the enemy.
So check it out. I started Fedora Outlier LLC, right? I created it. It was in my head. I created it and had a lot of early on success, right? And so I ran into a person that I thought was blind, friendly, on my side, and come to find out they totally wasn't. After they realized that they couldn't put their foot on my neck and have control, then I became the enemy all of a sudden, and then all the rumors start. But we'll get into it. Here you go.
You will leave this building. We're not going to do it. And we're real clear about it. We talk about it in staff meeting. We deal with it. We're clear. We let people know what's going on with it. We're not going to do it. Whoever guards his mouth and tongue keeps his soul from troubles. By definition, gossip is when a negative is discussed with anyone who can't solve the problem.
Gossip is when a negative is spewed by someone to someone else who can't solve the problem. Isn't that amazing? Because this person couldn't solve the problem, but they wanted to gossip.
So our deal is simply this. If you have a problem, no, I take that back. When you have a problem, because usually we bring you in here to work on a problem. That's kind of what we do. So you are going to have problems. If you don't have any problems, you should be worried about other things, because it means we probably don't need you. So you're going to have problems. And nothing is moved unless it's shoved. And when things are shoved, it creates friction. So be ready. There's 370 opportunities to find someone who doesn't like you or the way you do things, or you to find someone that you don't like or the way they do things. When you have a problem, and you will have one, you have one option with it. Hand the problem up the food chain somewhere into leadership so they can help you fix the problem, solve the problem, fund the answer to the problem, but the receptionist can't fix this for you. And so dropping by and leaning on her desk with a cup of coffee and going, do you know, did you hear about the new sales program that's not going to work? You get one once, and it will be a very clear and direct. And I don't even put it in writing. I don't need to, because I'm not going to do it again, and I don't have to keep it in writing. I will warn you once, and you will change. Period.
All right, and so here's the whole rumor in its entirety. So nevertheless, going through, doing my training, being me, opening the company, starting the company, growing the company, and I was told, that Vashon doesn't do assistive technology training anymore. That's the word that they got. And, so I didn't really think much into the issue, but then I kept hearing this. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? But when I first heard it, guess where I was at? I was in Georgia doing training. That's the crazy part. All right, so nevertheless, man, the bottom line is don't gossip, because unless you're bringing it to somebody that can actually solve the problem, that can fix it, then you're just wasting breath and you're negative. All right. So anyway, man, words to live by. Let's change the world. Let's change the world together.